Hello my beautiful friends and welcome back to my channel. As per the title and thumbnail of this video, you know what you're here for. My review, demos, swatches, and eyeshadow looks using the brand new LISA ELDRIDGE eyeshadow palettes. Now, with a total of 5 different color stories, 5 different eyeshadow palettes, I had my eyes on 3, but I ended up picking up 4 of them. In total, I picked up Sorcery, Vega, Myth. Those were the 3 that I was like, yes, these I'm adding to cart. At the last minute, I thought, well, let's just add Cinnabar. I decided to skip on Muse because I do have a ton of pinky color stories on my collection, whether from Charlotte Tilbury, Pat McGrath. So I said, you know what, let's just skip on that one. I also picked up 2 of her Velvet Lipsticks, the new shades, just 2 of them because I have pretty much all of her lipsticks, and the shades that she just released for this holiday 2022, they all look beautiful, but 2 of them, they really caught my eye. I also picked up 1 of her lip pencils. So let's go for the eyeshadow palette. So they come in this beautiful unicorn white, very clean, with LISA ELDRIDGE logo in gold. The palettes, they are made in Italy. They have a shelf life of 24 months and they cost $68 each. In terms of weight, they have a weight of 5.4 grams of product, which if we compare it, say for example, with a Charlotte Tilbury eyeshadow palette, sometimes they vary it between the 4.5 grams to 4.6 grams, but kind of like the same amount. The big difference is that these eyeshadow palettes from LISA ELDRIDGE, they come with 6 different shades, while the ones from Charlotte Tilbury, they come with 4 different shades. In terms of pricing, the pricing is very alike to, say, a Dior eyeshadow queen. Now, you have to see this beautiful packaging. Well, I'm sure you all have seen it multiple times by now. That, by the way, my order got a little delayed, but let me tell you, this is a big shout out to LISA ELDRIDGE customer service. They are top of the line, very appreciative with them. Immediately when I just sent them an email, a message telling them, hey, I placed my order right at the time of launch of the products, and what's going on, they told me it was going to be delayed a little. They were so helpful, and I think it's important to give credit to the customer service of LISA ELDRIDGE, because I know she's kind of like a solo girl. She's is not like a big company, she's self-funded, so it is very important to see that she really cares about her customers. So anyhow, friends, this is a beautiful component. Love the design. It is a gold design, but what I like a lot about it is that the gold is brushed, therefore you're not going to see fingerprints, and that maintains the elegance of the palette. Also, it has some riches right here, so you have this duo of textures that I love, and it's just as she explained it, is seamless. Also, on the back of the palette, you have these pink holes, meaning that you can actually interchange different eyeshadows. She now sells on her website individual single eyeshadows, but she doesn't sell the component alone, meaning that you will have to buy, say, 1 eyeshadow palette, and then if you like different shades from other eyeshadow palettes that you just want to add to your collection, you can do so. Keep them perhaps on a Z palette, and whenever you're traveling, or if you want to do your own LISA ELDRIDGE kind of a style compact, then you can go ahead and pop them in right here. Now, the palette in terms of weight is not super weighty. It doesn't feel cheap though, but it's lightweight. If I have to compare it, perhaps yes, to this palette from Charlotte Tilbury, this one weighs a little bit more than this one, but it's nothing like, say, for example, Olivia Palermo Beauty. This is super weighty. This is literally a weapon. Perhaps, no, Byredo has a little bit more weight to it. And then in terms of Victoria Beckham Beauty, I will say the same kind of weight, but Victoria Beckham Beauty, as you can tell, it's a lot smaller in size. But kind of the same idea, very luxurious kind of packaging. Honestly, she did an incredible job right here on this design. Another important factor right here is that Lisa Eldridge is introducing different type of formulations and different type of finishes, from a seamless matte formula to a velvet matte formulation. Also, she has a luminous duo formula as well as a luminous duo, a top coat formula, and a metallic formulation. Let's go first with the eyeshadow palette that I was just like, oh my gosh, so excited for. It is Sorcery. And let's see this beautiful, stunning color story. And by the way, if you're new here to my channel, I do film in natural light and my camera is a 4K camera. So let's go ahead and get started with swatches. I'm going to swatch each of the palettes, top and then bottom. I will let you know the name of the shades and the finish of the shades. Troubadour, a seamless matte. Roto, metallic. Madrigal, metallic. Mercurial is a luminous duo. Mage or Make, metallic. Swanson, metallic. Wow. Also, the palettes, they come with a nice size mirror, and the mirror is of really good quality. So I'm gonna go ahead and just get started with an eyeshadow look with each of the palettes. Obviously, each of the palettes I will give you the swatches, and then at the very end I will give you my review, final thoughts, details about each of the formulations and which palette is the palette that wins my heart. So let's go ahead and start here with the first eyeshadow look. Let's go for this dark green. Wow, the payoff of this matte eyeshadow, impeccable, and no fallout. The eyeshadow look is done. I went ahead and just applied some falsies, a little bit of eyeliner by Victoria Beckham Beauty. All those details will be on the description box below, but I have to tell you that these cost me 0 time to do it. I mean, if it was like less than 2 minutes, that's more than I can say. I mean, this color story, obviously you can use more. You can do a green eyeshadow look instead of blue, but to me, I felt to do something just with blue, a little bit different, combining with a little bit of the green. Also, this shade, it does have so much variation. It does have a little bit of purple, of green, of blue. It just is very, very multi-dimensional. It's not a duochrome, but it just has so much dimension that it looks pretty, I mean, gorgeous in every single angle. And I forgot to mention, but each of these eyeshadow palettes, when you open them up, they come with this protector on top. It's just a plastic protector, which I appreciate. And the eyeshadows, they do not fall out. Obviously, I mean, you want to be careful with it. But what about if we put a lipstick? So I went ahead and pick up with my order that lip pencil in the shade Sorcery, because yes, you guessed it, I went ahead and picked up the lipstick in Sorcery, and I think Sorcery and Sorcery will work just amazing. So this is that lip pencil. Let me just show it to you. Okay, so this is a kind of like a rustic kind of nudie tone. And now for the Velvet lipstick in the shade Sorcery. Oh, look at this beautiful shade. I'm so excited. I love the Velvet matte formulation from Lisa Eldridge. And by the way, be very careful with the Velvet mattes. If you have never tried them before, they are very delicate lipsticks and you don't want them to break. So just try to have very little amount out and then go for it. For my other eyeshadow look, I'm gonna go with Cinnabar, which is the more nudie shade out of her collection. Let's start first with the swatches. Rose Sienna Seamless Matte, Bronze Eye Metallic, Fiery Earth Seamless Matte, Lost Summer Metallic, Deep Ochre Velvet, Ritual Top Coat. Okay, my friends, and here's the final look using Cinnabar. A very neutral kind of look. The only shade that I didn't use is this bronzy tone, but we still have a lot more to dig with the Vega and the Myth palette. I went ahead and removed the eyeshadows, although as you can tell I have a little bit of a stain of the palette Sorcery, which is okay because the next palette that I'm gonna use is also deep, is Myth, and one of the palettes that I was the most excited for because it has purpley tones, a little bit of eggplant shades, and also some cool tones in here. It really speaks to me. So let's go ahead and swatch it. This shade is so pretty. It does have some reflects of pink and yellow, whitish tone. It reminds me to an eyeshadow from Pat McGrath from one of her Mothership palettes. I think it's on the one that has the green shade. I think that one. Okay. Nocturama, and this is a velvet shade. Illusionism, Top Coat, Mauve Decade, Velvet, Faded Amethyst Metallic, Victorian Trim Velvet, Violet Stone Velvet. I can tell these may stain the eyelids because look at the pigment. Okay, let's go for it. And here you have it. This is the look using the palette Myth. The last palette that I got is Vega, and this is more of like your cool tone. I see that there's some undertones, but it looks like perhaps like a greenish undertone here. Let's just swatch it. French Grey Velvet, Smoke and Mirrors Seamless Matte, Moonthrill Metallic, Turbulence Seamless Matte, Supernova Luminous, Lamp Black Seamless Matte. And yeah, definitely this has actually a bluish undertone to it. It's not blue, but I think it translates really well in the camera. Ready, my friends? And here is my final look using the palette in Vega. And I still have one more lipstick to try, which is Duchess. And so excited. Look at this beautiful shade. What a gorgeous shade. I'm gonna go ahead and swatch it right here, and I'm just gonna give you a few comparisons with other Lisa Eldridge lipsticks that I have here. Ribbon is one of them, and this one broke, so just need to be very careful. And that's the only thing with these velvet matte lipsticks, that they just, yeah, they break fairly easy, even sometimes without much effort. I have here Velvet Jazz. I'm going to just put it above Duchess. This is deeper actually. And then I also have here Velvet Midnight. This is more purpley in tone, as you can tell. And that's it of the reds that I have from the Velvet formulation of Lisa Eldridge. Now going into Sorcery. This is Velvet Decade, Velvet Muse, Velvet Blush. Friends, and I'm done trying all these new products from Lisa Eldridge. What do you think about them, right? Well, from the Velvet lipsticks from Lisa Eldridge is one of my favorite matte formulations. They're very comfortable, thin. They are not too drying, and they just have this velvet finish that is just so stunning. And this shade right here makes your teeth look extra white. Gorgeous, gorgeous shades. In terms of the eyeshadow palettes, I really appreciate that Lisa has brought us so many different color stories. I think she is catering for many people. For those who'd like to have a little bit of something purple, one person that may like to be a little bit more adventurous and love Sorcery palette with all those green, blue shades. Perhaps someone that has more of like an affinity to a cool tone eyeshadow look. And there's your other palette called Vega, and then Cinnabar for those who like a little bit more of warm tones, and Muse, although I haven't tried it, again, it's kind of like your pillow talk eyeshadow palette. So she catered for many different people, many different styles. Also, by bringing so many different formulations, it's a lot of fun to discover her eyeshadow palettes. Now, in terms of the formulas, I enjoy the Seamless Matte and the Velvet Matte. They are both very emollient, but the main difference, the Velvet Matte, it has some kind of luminosity. It does have nothing, it's not a it's not a satin formulation, but basically you just have so many emollients that it just goes very soft, very smooth. If I have to compare it, honestly, to me, the cream to powder formulation from Natasha Denona, that is more emollient. These ones are emollient, but not that much. In fact, to me, the Seamless Matte formulation, it feels a little bit drier and a little bit heavier. And when I mean heavier, doesn't mean that it's thick in consistency. It's just, it feels dense. There you go. That's the right word. It feels dense, the consistency. For the Velvet formulation, it feels kind of creamy and smooth and lightweight as well. So it's really easy for those who are new into eyeshadows, or simply you want to be a little bit more adventurous but you're afraid to deep colors. It's going to make a breeze, an actual breeze to just, you know, blend, and it's just fantastic. Now, in terms of fallout, the only one that I have fallout with is this shade, which we all know purples are hard to formulate, and this purple payoff is beautiful, but yes, there was just a little bit of fallout. What I will have to like to see here, perhaps I'm not too fond to this shade. I thought it was going to translate more as we see it in the palette, but rather it translated a little bit more pinky, more fuchsia in tone, and it's not my favorite. I'm completely honest right here. So So sorry about that. And then as far as her top coat shades, they are supposed to be these kind of like pop shades. I feel like Charlotte Tilbury, even Wayne Goss, who else? Tom Ford, they do it better. That top coat, those kind of mesmerizing kind of shades, they are very, a little bit underwhelming for my likes. It's not that they are bad, but I just feel like they are just way too soft. But in the other hand, if you are going for something super soft, and that's the type of formula that you like, and you just like a little bit of sparkles, very, very soft, then those are definitely for you. I think her metallics are spectacular. Sorcery, out of all these palettes, definitely Sorcery is the one that wins my heart. Cinnabar, to me, it's, I mean, I knew going for it. It's the same as other palettes that I have, and that's okay. That's completely fine, because I always say it, every single brand, they should have a nude palette as well as a cool tone neutral palette, because at the end that's what it sells for them. So I'm happy that she got it, but I feel like this formula is fantastic. Now, do we use these type of palettes, like Sorcery, in other words, this type of Sorcery palette? Do we use it in everyday basis? No, obviously it's impactful and it's mesmerizing. It's a sorcery. It is a sorcery. So obviously this is gonna be like, wow, incredible. But to be honest with you, it's not something that I'm gonna use in daily basis. Most likely I will use Cinnabar in daily basis, as well as if I would have gotten Muse, I'm sure I would have used that one. Then after that, I think I will go with Vega. It's a beautiful palette, more cool tone. I love this shade over here. This taupey tone is so pretty. It didn't give me any kind of fallout or difficulties at blending. I will have to say though, her seamless matte eyeshadows, I feel them just a little bit on the drier side in comparison with her velvet mattes. And then as far as mid goes, I think I have already touched base on this one. I feel like this was the one that I was the most excited for, but it owed me something. This one owed me a little bit more punch. This one, it ended up to be too pink. So there's something right here, but here, listen me out. I was trying to use as many eyeshadows as possible on each eyeshadow looks, and that's not the way that you are. I mean, I shouldn't say supposed to do it. You do whatever you want to do, but it's better when you just use 3 shades or 4 shades at the most, or even like 1 or 2 shades, and play around like that to create different looks. So having 6 different eyeshadows is fantastic. Now, my recommendation, if you're thinking, well, these palettes are a little bit pricey, they are in the luxury mark, I will then suggest you buy whichever palette you feel that calls your name. Say, for example, or you know, another thing that you can do, for example, grab one that it will be your base palette, say Cinnabar or Muse, or like even the other one, Vega, which is cool tone. And then you can purchase a couple of the other single eyeshadows that you really love. Keep them on a, I don't know how they come when buying them in singles. I suppose it will come in some sort of container. Try to keep it like that, and then just interchange it. You know, have those pop shades here and there, so that way you can change your eye look, but definitely have your base kind of eyeshadow. That's if you want to, or otherwise just choose, you know, like if you like Sorcery, go for Sorcery. I know, pretty sure that eyeshadow palette as well as the Sorcery lipstick, it's not gone forever because these are not limited edition, but I'm sure it's sold out. Perhaps when I'm uploading this video, it will come back in stock. I will be leaving all the details of each of the products that I used today, products that I didn't mention verbally, but perhaps the eyeliner, etc., you know, blush, bronzer, blah blah blah. Everything will be in the description box below for your convenience, along with the links. I want to say thank you so much to all of you, my dear friends, for watching today. Let me know if you have picked up any of these new products from Lisa Eldridge. Are you excited about them? If you already have them, perhaps just comment how are you liking it, which eyeshadow is your favorite one or which lipstick is your favorite one. Let's continue the conversation on the comment section down below. While you're at it, and if you haven't done so yet, I want to invite you to subscribe to my channel. Make sure you ring that post notification bell because really you don't want to miss any of my uploads. It will be amazing if you can come and follow me on my Instagram and TikTok. If you like this video, do not forget to give it a thumbs up. Also share it with family and friends. And if you're not done watching my content, I will be leaving a couple other videos right here that I'm sure you're gonna love. Until the next time, I hope you have a beautiful, wonderful day. Bye-bye.